friends! So today is gonna be an extra special thing, where I'm just gonna yap. I'm gonna yap about my latest fixation, Kpop Demon Hunters. I love this show. I'm gonna have this on me the whole time. It is a poppet ball fidget because I am extra jittery today because I'm talking about Kpop Demon Hunters. Now, I also have a checklist right here of headcanons and stuff, and I have a headcanon in theory that was sent to me by a friend. But I'm just gonna yap about Kpop Demon Hunters. So, spoilers ahead, I will not have a filter. So I'm just gonna say whatever I want about it. Let's go! Now, I'm gonna start off with a theory of mine about Junior's relationship with Gima, because it's, well, let's just say I find their dynamic to be interesting, to say the least. So, my first theory here is Jinu was gonna be Gima's new body. That's what I have written down. But essentially, what I mean is that Gima is literally just a giant sentient bonfire, right? So it only makes sense. He's not exactly able to move around in the world. So the only way that Gima could even be more powerful after feasting on as many on basically all but 1% of Seoul that is left behind in Kpop Demon Hunters. Like, the only thing left behind there is Heezum. So the only way he could possibly get stronger is if he's able to move around of his own accord, instead of being summoned to areas with high populations of souls like what we see in Your Idol. So I think Gima was having a secondary plot involving Jinu, where he found Jinu, saw Jinu, how objectively handsome Jinu is, especially as a demon, and decided he should take advantage of that. So when Jinu finally was essentially absorbed into the demon realm, he would have taught Jinu, like mentored Jinu, so that way when he eventually does take over Jinu's body, no one would have thought Jinu was any different, right? Like, I think Gima was trying to turn Jinu into him, because in the movie he actually said he taught Jinu. He said, "I taught you well, Jinu." So that just tells me that Gima mentored Jinu because he had some kind of plan for him, and I think that plan was to literally take over his body so that way Gima could move around, do what he needed to do without relying so much on manipulation tactics of other people. That is my theory. This is just for fun. I don't know, I think it's pretty cool. Now, in the second act, during Your Idol, there's actually a single frame that I've noticed where Jinu's eyes widen. Like, his expression completely changes from that calm, schooled expression of performance, like the smile, the dancing, that you can tell he's literally dying inside during it. That change in expression, I think, was because Jinu spotted Rumi when she came in. When she entered the arena. Like, just a split second before she announced her presence. Like, I swear, his expression completely changes from calm and schooled to shocked back to calm and schooled once Rumi announces her presence. I think that's because he spotted her. It's something very easy to miss. But ever since I first spotted it on my second watch, I have not been able to unsee it. Let's see now. Okay, so this last one I have written down here was is also a headcanon because let's face it, when Rumi, Mira, and Zoe are talking about demons, hunting them, sending them back, either killing or sending them back, there's a lot of conflicting ideas there. Like each one of them has a different idea of what happens to the demons when they get attacked, like when they actually hit them with their weapons. Like, so Zoe seems to think that they just simply get sent back to Gima. Mira thinks they actually die, and I'm pretty sure Rumi thinks she's purifying them some way. Like, it's very suggested with how she behaves, behaves, and was raised with the idea that the whole moon was gonna remove her marks. I get the feeling that she thinks that when she hits them with her weapon, she's purifying them, not, and they don't become demons anymore. But all three of them were taught by the same person, so it doesn't. Well, it's suggested that Celine had taught all three of them, right? But none of them really. But each of them seem to have a different idea of what happens to the demons after they hit them with their weapons. So, my headcanon / theory is that Celine doesn't actually know what happens to the demons after they dissolve, essentially. She doesn't know. So she made up a story for all three of them, so that way they could continue the tradition of demon hunting and trying to perfect the Hunmu. This works. Obviously, this works. But still, the three of them definitely don't know for sure what happens, especially by the end. But it's safe to say that Gima is dead. Like, he is burned out. Nope. Done. Dead. Gone. But that, again, that's my theory, is that she doesn't actually know. She just knows that the Honmu prevents demons from coming into the world. That is the only truth she told each of them. Therefore, because let's face it, when she saw Rumi was exposed, her first reaction was to lie. She is a liar and manipulator on a similar level to Gima. She's just directing it in a different way. Like literary wise, after watching the movie, yeah, Celine 100% is meant to be a mirror to Gima. So they're both liars and manipulators that essentially are trying to have other people do their battles for them, but they are still going like head to head in the story wise. Now, there's some theories that I've found online that I don't really like. Gima being Rumi's dad, like, come on. The demon is literally a giant bonfire. How? And personally, if there ever is a sequel, I think it's better if we don't find out who Rumi's dad is. That is just my personal opinion, because I don't know. Since what I've observed of Asian culture, which is granted, it's mostly through like vlogs, dramas, anime, that sort of thing. It seems like whenever there's a female lead, and we know exactly who the father is, like the father is given a face, given a name, that father suddenly starts to completely define the character instead of the female lead defining herself. That is just a common thing I've seen in stories and such, and even K-dramas, which I've only seen a handful. But still, anytime their father is actually given a name and a face, like an actual presence in that story, the character starts defining themselves by their parent, not themselves. So I think it's better that we don't know who Rumi's father actually is, purely because then her father will start defining her, and so on. However, one thing that I think would be really cool to do in a sequel, which is this one theory that my friend sent me that I really like, is if there is a sequel, I think it should be more about Rumi learning about her mother. Like, I'm thinking we pull a Mamma Mia and have her find her mother's old diary. And she would be very vague when it comes to talking about the father, but Rumi would then just read, experience, and find parallels in her own life with her mother. I think that if we start exploring the world through her mother, but, hide her father's face, just make it all about Rumi's mother instead of revealing who the father is, would make a strong impact, especially if it's more like every so often we'll just get a random clip of a Sunshine Sister whenever there's like some kind of parallel between Rumi and her mother. And like specifically in action sequences, because I feel like if we show her seeming to fight alongside the spirit of her mother, whose journal she is reading as she's going about daily life, like random shots whenever there's free time, she, like, just a split second of showing her reading the journal, impact frame, that sort of thing. Feel free to use it. I don't know, I just think it'd be really cool. And I want to know more about Rumi's mother more so than her father, because yeah, her father's kind of served his purpose, really. But anyway, here's this thing that my friend sent me. Sequel. Jinu is going to start speaking to Rumi via his soul that is now a part of her. And there'll be more demon hunters. The more demon hunters is gonna be a given if there ever is a sequel. Because I get the feeling, since she's revealed herself to the world as a demon, obviously there's gonna be hunters trying to come after her because they think she's... because they think she's trying to steal everybody's souls, but she's not. She's really not. She's just trying to live her life. But that's also why I think it would be a good idea to have, like, these parallels to her mother and the Sunshine Sisters throughout the film. And Jinu speaking to Rumi via the soul thing, I think that is an excellent idea. I've actually subbed to a fanfic where it's legit just where the story was that she could only see Jinu in the reflections, but whenever he interacted with her, she could still, like, literally feel him. I love that idea. I love it. I want to see more of it. It reminds me of the story by Neil Lord's Freaking Romance, which I absolutely love. Like, two people who love each other can't touch each other, or they can't really be in the same plane of existence. Like, it's a star-crossed lovers trope that is, while similar to Romeo and Juliet, is still wildly different from it, and I love that, because Romeo and Juliet is just a story about a couple of dumb-ass kids. It's not some epic romance. It's literally just a social commentary on rom-coms as a whole. Every character in that play is a freaking dumbass, and we only love it because of how controversial it seems. Shakespeare's controversial. There's no changing my mind. He's always been controversial. Like, I've actually done several essays and reports on Shakespeare. So, like, I've written tons of things on Shakespeare. They're not published anywhere or anything because it was for school, but still, one thing I have found when researching Shakespeare, he is always controversial. He is only still relevant because his works are controversial. That is it. That is all there is to his works, and I freaking love it. Okay? I like it because it's controversial. But I am completely sidetracked. Let's see here now. There was more. When there have been so many edits I've watched. Oh my word. There was this one where I saw they had frozen on an impact frame after Zoe cuts Mystery's face. And oh my word. Me. Oh, Miroba. Mira, Romance, and Abby all look absolutely horrified, and I love it. Because it makes sense! All three of them have careers where they are literally defined by their face, and Zoe had cut Mystery in the face! When you are in a career fighting other people, face is always a no-no if you're something like an actor or a model or literally any career that you need to have a pretty face for. So the fact that Zoe went after Mystery's face was her fighting dirty. She was fighting dirty, and I love it. And they're all just absolutely horrified because Zoe is literally the nicest person out of the entire group. She's the people pleaser. She's the one that just wants to make people happy. Purely for the sake of it. And she got Mystery's face. Which is a no-no zone. Like, it is such a 180 from how her character usually is, and everyone is surprised. Everyone who saw it is surprised in that scene. Oh, I love it. I die every time I see it now, ever since I saw that impact frame. I can't unsee it in the best way possible. Oh, my word. And funny enough, ever since Kpop Demon Hunters, it took Kpop Demon Hunters to come out for me to see edits of my favorite anime DILF, Gabriel Angelini from Mafia Nanny. It took K-pop Demon Hunters in order to see thirst trap edits of Gabriel Angelini. And I am so happy. Oh, I just wish they'd use the pool day picture. I am absolutely losing it. Holy crap. Keeping you in check, keeping you obsessed. Yep, I am for sure obsessed and kept in check by my complete and total obsession. So, by the way, my favorite characters from this movie are, I'm gonna have them separated by who they are. So, like, my favorite normal human in general in K-pop Demon Hunters is Bobby. Freaking Bobby. Ken was the perfect actor cast for that. No one can change my mind here. Like, in that movie, I just feel like Ken was just playing a different version of himself in the best possible way. Like, Bobby was so fun and so sweet. And my favorite Huntrix member is Zoe, because I actually relate to her the most. Like, she is short. She fights dirty when it comes down to it. Like, she doesn't care. She just does not care when it comes down to a matter of life or death. She will fight. She will fight dirty. She is not gonna pull her. She is not going to hold back at all. She's going to do everything to her best ability. And one of the only ways that she gets her aggression out is either fighting demons or writing diss tracks in her notebooks whenever she's mad at somebody. Because you cannot tell me there have not been fights between those three where Zoe's like, okay, how about we just take some space from me? Like, she is the peacekeeper, and you cannot tell me that she doesn't go to her bedroom after fights and write down insulting diss tracks before tearing them up after they're written. Like, that's how she gets her aggression out when it's directed towards specific people. It just seems like something she'd do. And, and my favorite Saja boy is obviously Jinu. He is such a smug butt. But he's also really easy to read once you actually catch on to when you're actually watching his body language. He's actually really easy to read. And here is why, okay? So, most of the film, he's like, manipulate, sweet talking, alright? But the thing is, there are several scenes where it's like, oh, he's not just a demon. Like, he does something that is out of character for someone who's only ever done something for themselves, right? Like, the men's bathhouse scene. So, after I've watched it a few times, I kept watching Juno extremely closely, and I noticed a change in his body language, okay? So when he's putting on a front, being a demon, he is straight back, looking prideful, proud even. He's like acting like some kind of noble guy whenever he's pretending to be a demon. Like he's trying to put on a brave face. However, every other time he is with Rumi, whenever he's being genuine, he seems to like almost, it's very subtle, but he'll just start of like caving in on himself. Like he'll lower his head, he'll relax his shoulders, almost curl into a little, almost like he's curling into a ball, trying to, like he takes a more defensive position. Not like fighting, but like somebody who's been bullied. Where he'll just start like curling in on himself, hiding, like he's trying to hold something close to him. When he's being genuine, he's always just taking a more relaxed stance and even almost curling in on himself. Again, it is subtle, but it is there. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. They're in the bathhouse scene, okay? When he sees Rumi's things while he is in a fighting stance, he's still like, his shoulders are much more curled inward than what normally he would have been. Because he would have been like this. When he pushed her, he would have been like almost in a wide open fighting stance, like what is normal you would see in a movie. But no, he's just got his hand down in front of him, on his knees, curled up, staring at her, confused. Or like when they're doing the free thing, he's much more relaxed whenever he's being genuine. And before he sacrifices himself, before the song Free, he seems to collapse in on himself whenever he's talking to her and being genuine. And when he actually tells her the truth about it, which honestly, brilliant piece of foreshadowing. Hello? He's like, Gima, after Free, he's like, Gima is like, if you really thought you were gonna be free, you would have told her the truth about what would happen. And what happens minutes later? What happens minutes later? He tells her the truth! Like, there are so many brilliant literary devices used in this movie. I am drooling. Oh my word. Anyway, this is... I am starting to get way too worked up and way too excited. I'm starting to max out my mic. Get way too loud. Sorry about that. And so, in the meantime, don't forget to check out my book, which I will put it in the description to this video. And hope to see everybody in the next one. Until then, may the brain rot consume you. Because it sure as heck has consumed me.